Hello everyone, I'm going to briefly show you what you need to do with this lauric acid data now that you are finished with it and how you should interpret it and graph the data that you have. First, I'm going to start with just a message for everybody about what your graph should look like and instructions for what if not. And then at the end, I'm going to have a brief message for hour one, cohort one, about how to share your data with your partner. Okay, so if in this graph that you see here on the screen, this is a pretty standard heating curve for something that is melting like lauric acid. This is actual data from someone's lauric acid lab. So what happens is that you get this pretty steep curve at first from 0 to about 6 minutes in this data set. And then at 6 minutes, the temperature of the lauric acid starts to level off where that line goes pretty flat. There's a tiny bit of an upward slope, but very, very little. So there's very little change. It stays about the same temperature for about 6 minutes. You get out to about 12 minutes before again you see a sharp, steep incline from 12 minutes until the end here, like 17 minutes or whatever it is at the end. So this is really normal. This is what is supposed to happen when you melt something. This always occurs. So if you didn't see something like this, I probably talked to you about it in class. And if that is the case, then what you would want to do would be to look at the sample data that I posted on BB9 for today's virtual lesson. If you got to a point where, like, let's say your graph looks like this from 0 to 6 minutes, and then from where I have like 6 to 10 minutes, and then it just stops because you finished it, not necessarily at 10 minutes, but your graph stops and it's still sort of in that flat line because you just didn't get past that point. That just means that you didn't melt all the lauric acid yet, because the temperature is still staying the same. So what that means is your graph is fine, you just didn't have enough time to finish the melting process. If you would have gone for a few more minutes, then eventually you would have seen this steep upward slope again, like you see in this graph. So there's nothing wrong with your data, and you can still graph it as is. You do not need to graph the sample data, just graph yours as it is. You would probably know if I told you, we probably talked about it in class, if it was like something that looked weird or it wasn't what you would expect, then I probably told you that. Okay, now for hour one, cohort one, what you guys are going to need to do is a little bit of an extra step here for the person who has the data on their iPad. So open SparkView and open your file from yesterday. And what I need you to do in order to share this with your partner, because you didn't have time to do it in class, is that I need you to add some data points, and I'm going to show you how to do that, and then take a screenshot of it and send it to your partner so that they're able to graph the data. So go to you're going to mark each 2 minutes. So you're going to mark a point at 0 minutes, at 2 minutes, at 4 minutes, at 6 minutes, at 8 minutes, etc. every other minute. So what you would do is you would tap the screen at 0 minutes, like I did, and you get these 3 little boxes that pop up, and it doesn't last very long. So if you don't do it quickly, it'll disappear. So just click it again, tap it again. Then tap the box on the left, and that's going to pull up for you what the data point actually is. So it says at 0 minutes, the temperature was 30.5 degrees Celsius. That's perfect. I'm going to leave that there. Now I'm going to tap on 2 minutes. And again, I want to do the same thing. I tap on the left box. Now it says that this is measuring the data point at 1.883 minutes. That's not quite 2 minutes. So what I do is I move with these 2 little arrows above the box. I want to go to the right because I want to get to 2 minutes. So I just keep tapping the right arrow until I get to 2 minutes. So now I'm good. At 2 minutes, it was 31.9 degrees Celsius. Tap out once you're finished with that data point. Either just wait or tap out of it, like tap off to the side, and the arrows will go away. Then you can do the next one. So now I'm at 4 minutes. And I'm not quite at 4 minutes, so I'm going to use the right right arrow button to go to the right to get to 4 minutes. That looks good. Then I want to go to 6 minutes. And this one I'm a little too far, so I need to use the left arrow button to go back to 6 minutes. Then I'm going to do 8 minutes. And again, use the left arrow button to go to the left. 10 minutes, same thing. And then 12 and 14. As far as you go, as far as your data goes, keep going. So that's there. And then 14, for me, 14 minutes is going to be too far. I'm not going to be able to see anything, so I'm just going to skip that one. I don't need to do that one. So now you can see, if you take a screenshot of this, you can see that you can see all the points at once, so that your partner has all of the data that they need in order to graph it, and they can just graph, you can just graph every minute or 2 minutes. You don't need to graph every single 0.0183 minute is not necessary. One other thing to show you is if you make a mistake and you want to get rid of one of these boxes, just tap the box for the data point that you want, and then just click the X on the right, and it'll delete it for you like that. So I'm going to put that back because I want it, but I can delete it if I made a mistake, or if I decide, like if I can't, sometimes you can't, if the boxes are kind of on top of each other, you can't see them, so then just, you can space them a little more if you make a mistake. And that's it. So now I would take a screenshot of this, and then I would send that to my partner so that they have the data to use. Either send them a message in WebEx or send them an email, please, with the data. Have a great day. If you have any questions about anything, please let me know. Take care.